What's up, y'all? Welcome back again to No Table Talk. It's your boy, Otunba. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so this one is for that individual who has received an impression on their hearts to do something, or has received a burden or a sense of duty to pursue an assignment, and somehow hasn't gotten around to it or hasn't gotten around to starting, and is waiting for the right moment. He's waiting for the perfect alignment of things. He's waiting for that mystical and spectacular sign to get things going. This one is for you. This video is supposed to give you reasons to see why you should start. And you should start now, in whatever capacity you see fit, in whatever capacity is appropriate for where you are right now. That's what this video is for, to encourage you to start now. I'm going to highlight a couple of key points that I have thought of from experience and from just me musing on my thoughts. A couple of key points of why you should start now. Hopefully this persuades you, or this encourages you, or this at least gets you thinking along the lines and sees reason, and gets you to see reason on why you should start now, or why you should get things going. So the first thing that I want to point out is that I think that a lot of us overestimate the luxury of time that we have. Not just our time here on earth, but just the luxury of time in general. How much time we think we have to put things off. How much time we think we have till we get to the point where it's time to go. You get what I'm saying? You feel me? I mean, if you think about it, the reason why certain things were laid on your heart, the reason why certain impressions were put on you, on something that needed to be done, and you felt that you were the subject, or you were the person assigned towards that duty. The key ingredient that needed to happen, or that needed to be in place for you to feel that impression, was not the readiness of the circumstances around you or the readiness of the resources, but just the availability of you. You get what I'm saying? That availability isn't eternal, if we're talking about existence on earth. That availability isn't non-ending. That availability is very, very limited. Very, very limited when one thinks about it. I mean, just the general life expectancy of human beings over the years, over generations, has sort of reduced. And that's even just me speaking statistically. That's even the expectation that you live to grow old. I mean, yeah, by God's grace, we all live to grow old. We all want to grow old. But if we're being real with ourselves, that's not always the case. And that's even just on the on a mortality side of things. Generally, we have come to the reality that there are other things that we didn't pick, that we didn't decide, that just readily draw our attention and draw our time, and are already demanding our resources. Just by being alive and having to survive, you are, without even you doing anything outside a regular 9 to 5, you're required to have a regular 9 to 5 to gather funds to service your life. You are required to, you have relationships in your life that demand from you. Yeah, some of those relationships you do pick, like your friends, but you get married, you have a relationship that you are required to service. You have children, you have humans that you are required to service by relationship and also by nurturing, if you want to be serious about it. That's just a hint in telling you that there are other things that will, or that already demand your time. The expectation that you're going to get to a point where you are going to feel the impression that, yes, now is the time to go. Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. So that's the first thing. I think we overestimate the luxury of time that we have. The second thing I want to mention is the extreme importance of process. the extreme importance of process. You see, the value that you place on your assignment is heavily reflective on the level of duty and excellence and attention that you feel like that assignment requires. Process for any great thing cannot be underestimated. Process for anything of intense value, you cannot take it away. You cannot. It's not microwavable. It has to be done. It has to be done. And one thing about process is that it helps refine, it helps establish, it helps confirm a craft or an assignment. You get what I'm saying? When you go through, I mean, even using this as an example, using Notable Talk as an example, one of the things that has kept me sane, one of the things that has kept me in seeing a clear picture of the value that this possesses, is not just the value that it gives to other people that I greatly appreciate, that are a part of this and are consuming this and have given testament of this being this helping them in some one way or fashion. It's the value that I see in not just myself, but in the crafts that I see goes into this. You get what I'm saying? I have been given the opportunity to process my crafts, to sometimes fail, to sometimes see frailties when I can afford to live with it, when I can afford to cope with it in this point I am in right now. You get what I'm saying? Process is very, very important. It will also then confirm that the assignment you are on is what you are supposed to do and it's what you should be doing. You get me? I mean, just even looking at business, a lot of established business owners, the businesses that they have established right now aren't always the businesses that they started with. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes they might have had to scrap what they started with. Sometimes they might have had to pivot in certain ways. Sometimes they might have had to just make certain adjustments because they allowed themselves go through that due process. Because when they felt the impression of the assignments they had, they then started off with what they had. With the bare minimum being yourself, like I mentioned. They started off with the resources and the time and the whether equipment goes into it or the people around it that go into it. Sometimes you just have yourself. They started and they learned on the job. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of the time, people just want to get to a lot of the time people just want to get to that end goal. You see, most of the time when you receive this impression of the assignment, the impression you receive is the effect that your assignment is supposed to have. You get what I'm saying? The distance between you feeling that impression and you getting to that effect or seeing the effect, that middle, there's a lot of process that goes into it. A lot of process that will confirm to you, a lot of process that will refine you, a lot of process that will establish you. You get what I'm saying? Especially when your assignment comes with the necessity of other people being involved. People would also have to feel the impression that this craft that you have is established. It's solid enough not to only support, but when it comes to sometimes investing. You get what I'm saying? Even the effects that your craft or your assignment is supposed to have. Like I said before, if you place intense value on it, or if you do see intense value on it, things of quality have to be delivered with things of quality. You get what I'm saying? In whatever craft you are in whatever job you were in, there's a clear reason for the things that you put into it be at par, and there's a clear there's a clear link in the quality of your resources and the quality of the things you put into your assignment or the things you put into your craft being directly proportional to the quality of the results. You get what I'm saying? Those things don't happen overnight. You have to go through the process. Sometimes you have to fail. Like I said, sometimes you have to pivot. You have to learn things about yourself. And you also have to then confirm that this is even something you're supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? Because you could have an impression, you could have an assignment, and it could have to become clearer over time. You get what I'm saying? It would have to become clearer with it being what you're supposed to do, or the way you're going about it being how you're supposed to go about it. You feel me? There are certain things that process deliver to you that you cannot get anywhere else or in any other way. You feel me? Even around us, we see people that the lack of process is incredibly telling on them, because they could fall into ditches that they would have normally been able to maneuver if they had been through due process, or they could learn certain lessons along the way. You get what I'm saying? That they have gotten if they have gone into due process. So process is incredibly important. Process is there to refine you, refine your craft. Process is there to confirm to you that your craft or your assignment is what you're even supposed to be doing. You get what I'm saying? And it's to establish you. You feel me? The third thing that I want to mention is that waiting on some mystical or spectacular sign or alignment of circumstances is somehow kind of telling on what your motive or your intentions are with your assignments, especially when your assignment is one of service. You get what I'm saying? You see, a true assignment of service is directly driven by the need of that service and the need or the duty towards the people that exist now that could do with that service. You feel me? I really don't want to go too much into what your motives could be, because that's a whole other topic. This is the depth in that. You could go on. That's probably another whole episode, to be honest. But a true assignment of service is driven solely by the need of that service. At the end of the day, when one really deep sits, when one really sits down and looks at it, whether consciously or unconsciously, the weighting of the spectacular sign or the spectacular or mystical alignment of things to come together to indicate to you that now is the time to go, you feel me, could sometimes be centered on self being you, the person that has the assignment or the subject of this duty. You get what I'm saying? Could sometimes be centered around self, whether it's on a basis of convenience or whether it's on a basis of whether, you know what, like I said, I don't want to go into it, but it could be whatever. It could be whatever. I feel like we could be introspective enough to actually see where we fall along with this, or to see what directly relates to us. But whatever it is definitely not linked to the need for that service. You get what I'm saying? It's definitely not linked to the necessity of that service for the people that need it. Any venture that we look at around us started small, started with little resources, started imperfect, started unready, for lack of a better word. But it was still servicing. It was still attending to certain people. It was still doing what it was supposed to do. But even if it lacked the excellence it would eventually get to, but it was still doing its actual requirements. It was still servicing. You see, that thing that you feel like you're here to do, or you feel like you've been called to do, or you feel like you're supposed to do. Bro, do it. Do it. I'm saying do it not even because of, yeah, process is very important, yeah, but I'm saying do it not even primarily because of the things that you need to or getting a head start. Not even because of that. Yeah, that's part of it, but not because of getting a head start or kicking things off early so that you can eventually get to the point where you would have that excellence. But people need it now. You get what I'm saying? If it was you waiting for a time in the future where you would feel like now it's time to start, then why didn't you get that impression then? You get what I'm saying? So start now. People need it now. You get what I'm saying? People need it now. The same people who need it in the future. People need it now. People need it tomorrow. And the people that will still receive the core of what you're supposed to do, regardless of the quality it is at right now, they will still receive it. You feel me? So do it now. Do it now. That assignment, start it. That duty, start it. That plan, that business, that whatever it is, the lessons you need, the classes you need, whatever it is, start now in what you are capable of doing now, in what is appropriate for where you are right now. Start now. Put the steps towards it now. You may not directly plunge yourself into the level that you know that it will get to, but there are steps you could take now. You feel me? So start now. Do it now. Do it now. And on that note of process and of assignments, we have 100 subscribers on YouTube. I don't take it lightly at all. So I want to use this time to thank everyone who has been a part of this so far, who has supported so far, who has consumed this content so far. Even more so, you supporting me and supporting this. I hope that this has been a blessing to you. I hope that this continues to be a blessing to you. This continues to be a positive impact to you. I'm looking forward to the 200 milestone and the 300 milestone and the 400 milestone. But at this point in time, we're at the 100 and we're celebrating. I won't have bottles to pop, but we're popping bottles. Okay, that doesn't look good. Well, we're popping bottles, you get what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that has supported me and has been a part of this. The 100 subscribers is just the YouTube milestone. There are other people that support in other ways on the other platforms. But the 100 subscribers on YouTube is what we're celebrating today. And I thank everyone. And I appreciate you. And let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. All right. Thank you guys for another episode. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching. See you guys in the next episode. And have a blessed one. All right. Bye.
Sit back, relax, and chill. Grab a glass of wine or a cup of tea, 'cause you're listening to No Table Talk.